What's good, everyone? We're kicking off Sinnoh with my personal favorite starter of all time, Torterra. I'm sure many of you guys also love this Pokemon. So fucking sick. Miles above every other starter, in my opinion, and that's not just nostalgia talking. So, quickly, before I get into the changes and buffs here, as always, I want to make a quick little disclaimer for new viewers. Make sure that you check the description down below. There is a very detailed link to a Google Sheet where you can, that was not English, but there's a very detailed Google Sheet, okay? And you can see all of the very important, crucial even, move buffs and changes in this hack. They are listed in several different orders and categories for you to look at. So yeah, that's super important. So definitely give that a look. That being said, we got my boy Torterra. He is by far the most like min-maxed starter. Like you can definitely sense the favoritism here, and I'm very self-aware about that. This is a very self-indulgent ROM hack, if you can't tell. And I fucking love Torterra, and also these stats just fit my man really well. He's fucking huge. Like he's a gigantic continent turtle. He's awesome. So as a result, yes, I did drop the special attack and speed a lot. Speed obviously makes sense to be dropped. Special attack, I mean, if I was being more realistic, it would be like 60-ish, maybe 70, 60, I would say was a fair number. And I would have, maybe HP would be a little bit lower or something. But it's my ROM hack. I get to do what I want, thankfully, and Torterra's the GOAT. So incredible buffs as a whole for the line. The whole line has the ability Harvest, which is really nice for something like Spiky Shield and Leech Seed. My internet just went out. What the fuck? Okay, well, I can keep recording. That's crazy, though. Harvest is super sick. Really great with Leech Seed and Spiky Shield. You can get that chip going. You can get those berries to renew each other. Overgrow is also pretty useful. Keep in mind, in this ROM hack, you do have access to infinite usability capsules, so you can and should be switching between your abilities, just throughout the playthrough. Depending on the situation, of course, and that's really useful. Harvest is nice, especially for Torterra, just because of how, excuse me, that was not English. Because of how tanky you are, it's a really nice ability for him. And then, of course, Overgrow is pretty useful as well. It's a very underrated ability, very powerful, and you can use that with something like Seed Shot for priority, which Torterra has, and then he also has First Impression, which is giving to like the vast majority of physical attackers in the hack have First Impression. So it's really nice. It's a great move. And then obviously Seed Shot is nice priority as well because you're super slow. Although 41 speed is actually not that bad. It's usable with something like Rock Polish and Shell Smash in-game because in-game, yes, their speed tiers are a lot higher in this hack. Excuse me, very high in this hack, as you can see from this little speed tier guide here. But you can check all this in the sheet down below, by the way. But if you go to the little thing here, what am I trying to look at? 41. So if you have a neutral nature and max speed investment at +2 speed, you hit 362, which is outspeeding, I believe, what? Let me put in element real quick. That's outspeeding base 115. So a neutral speed nature Torterra with obviously perfect IVs would outspeed any Pokemon that's in game that's 115 base speed or lower. So that's a really fucking, I mean, that's great. That's like the vast majority of Pokemon. Obviously, basically all these Pokemon will outspeed you, all these ones below here won't. And obviously there'll be more added as I go on and do more changes, but you get the idea. It's a pretty damn good speed tier to hit. It's not bad at all. Rock Polish is great because it also gives you an accuracy boost. Shell Smash is obviously great, but that's only for the Pokemon League and post game because it's level 70, maybe for Hapu or something. But yeah, like very late game stuff, essentially. But that's really nice as well, obviously. Torterra's other abilities. So you'll be using Harvest for most of the game, but once you get access to recoil moves, Headstrong becomes incredible. Headstrong negating recoil damage. So at level 40, which is like relatively early on, you get Double Edge, which is just a good 125 power, solid normal type move for like, just neutral hit. It's very strong at that point in the game. And you can just switch between Harvest and Headstrong when you need. And then once you get up to like the mid 40s, you'll find the TMs for Play Rough, Wild Charge, Takedown, and Rock Climb, all of which are 110 base power recoil moves. And those are all super awesome for Torterra, super great coverage, especially something like, fighting and rock coverage especially is great with his dual stab of grass and ground. And of course, you can just alternate your TMs and your coverage moves depending on the situation and depending on what set you want to run, because keep in mind, my man has 125 HP, 125 defense, and 90 special defense. Yeah, he's 4 times weak to ice, but not every Pokemon has fucking weaknesses. It's not that deep. And you can slap an Assault Vest on him, and you can really just become super tanky with something like Branch Leech. Man, AV Branch Leech is like chef's kiss. I love Torterra, so Branch Leech is a 90 base power move that is grass type. It's physical Giga Drain, but it's 90 base power essentially, okay? And that's insane, all right? That's super fucking great for my man with AV, or even just in general to have for all types of sets, for setup sets, for something like Bulk Up, Swords Dance. Z Rototiller is super cool for late game once you get the grounded EMZ after Hapu, because Z Rototiller will give you an additional. So basically, Rototiller itself gives you +2 attack and special attack, and then the Z effect gives you another +1 to all your stats, so you can become a little bit faster. But most importantly, you'll get +3 attack and +1 defense and +1 special defense, and that works great with Branch Leech. You can just swallow all these hits and stuff. Now, speaking of swallows are pretty nice. That is really nice because it's priority and it heals you by full HP no matter what. As long as you have a stockpile boost, you'll get up to full HP. And then, of course, you have Synthesis for reliable recovery as well, which is nice. Man, my man is just so awesome. I love him. You have a bunch of other really cool utility stuff as well. You know, Parting Shot because you're pretty slow and you're tanky, so that's a great pivot. Great coverage. I mean, you got Psychic Fangs, Thunder Fang, Wild Charge, Rock Climb, Takedown, Play Rough. You got your Dual Stab, which is already really good. You got other fighting moves and rock moves and First Impression and Lunge and all this great stuff. Heavy Slam, blah, 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 Iron Head. You guys get the idea. All kinds of awesome stuff. Then other Headstrong moves. So like I said, you get those 4 TMs. You have Double Edge early on. And then at level 58, you get Head Smash, which is 150 base power, 100% accurate, drops your defenses by 1. And the deals recoil, but obviously Headstrong will negate that recoil, so you're only taking the defense drop, which is kind of not that great because you are a slow Pokemon, but you can click that and then switch out if you want. I would personally rather run Rock Climb over Head Smash, but that's, you know, if you're running like a fast set, for example, like a Rock Polish or Shell Smash set, then of course, by all means, or like, I don't know, if you're running it under Trick Room, which is very situational and not that distributed, but, you know, by all means, go ahead and run Head Smash and Headlong Rush, which is the same thing, but stab, 150 base power, minus to both minus to both of your defenses. You guys get the idea. Again, you can find out what all these moves do down in the description below. There's tons of little move buffs and changes I'm not even mentioning because it would take forever. But yeah, you've got Dual Stab for Headstrong. Obviously, Wood Hammer is 125 power, and that's great with Headstrong. And then so you have your Dual Stab there. You've got all types of coverage. You got all you need. And then of course, Harbor still has its use late game even, especially because in the Sun with Solar Blade you get 100% berry, like your berry will always come back, okay, in the Sun. So you can run that with Solar Blade for late game. For specific things, you know, you can get a healing berry going. You can get like a Lychee berry or like a defense boosting berry or something, whatever you want to do. That's really awesome, okay? I think I've pretty much touched on everything. Again, great defensive Pokemon, great tank. I mean, that bulk is insane. He can still boost his speed up with a couple of moves, and he's pretty damn quick when he does it. Especially if you got a plus speed nature. If you got lucky, then, well, if you want to consider it lucky, then that's even faster. You're probably outspeeding like 125s, 130s at that point, which is like the vast majority of Pokemon in the hack. So yeah, great buffs and changes here as always. A little bit of favoritism, definitely by far my favorite starter, so I had to give him a little bit of extra love. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed these buffs and changes. If this kind of thing is interesting to you and you're new here, by the way, and you listen this far in, 100% hit that subscribe button. I'm close to 900 subscribers, so that'd be super helpful if you could do that for me. Again, link in the description for the buffs and changes. The Google Sheet is right there. Also, you can join my Discord server if that interests you. With that being said, I'll be leaving it off there. And I'll be coming back for, oh, that is glitched. This little, I messed up the format right there. I just noticed. I'll fix that after the video, but yeah, it's not symmetrical. I'll fix it. Oh, I can just slap Wordy Seed because they already have that. But okay, we're good. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. And I'll be back with the other Sinnoh starters in a little bit, hopefully. Bye.